Marcus Osei was not born remarkable. He was the middle child of a seamstress and a night shift security guard in a Rustbelt city where the steel mills had long gone quiet. His first desk was a kitchen table. His first ambition was simply to make his mother stop worrying. He graduated high school with decent grades, a part-time job, and a scholarship that barely covered one semester. He enrolled anyway. He worked double shifts on weekends and took 18 credits at a time to stretch every dollar. He slept 4 hours a night and told himself that was enough. It wasn't. In the winter of his second year, something inside him quietly broke. Not dramatically, not all at once, but the way old wood splinters under slow pressure. He withdrew from 2 courses, then 3. By spring, he had left school altogether, carrying a duffel bag and a silence he couldn't explain to anyone who hadn't felt it themselves. The next 3 years were not a montage. There was no training sequence set to swelling music. There were Tuesday mornings when getting dressed felt like a negotiation. There were job applications that vanished without reply. There were nights he calculated in precise detail how far behind he was compared to every person he had grown up alongside. He worked at a print shop. He taught himself to code through free online courses in the evenings, often falling asleep at the keyboard. He applied to a junior developer role 17 times before getting an interview. He got the job on the 18th application at a company he had never heard of, for a salary that was modest, for a position that was not the arrival he had imagined. He took it without hesitation, without glamour. It doesn't feel like the last mile when you're in it. It feels like the middle. It feels like more of the same. It feels, on the worst days, like evidence that the journey was never going to end in anything other than exactly this: ordinary, invisible, still trying. Marcus kept a single index card taped above his monitor. It said nothing motivational. It simply read, "Show up again." That was the whole philosophy. Not believe in yourself, not greatness is within you. Just show up again. One more time. Because the day you don't show up is the only day that guarantees nothing happens. He spent 2 years at that first company, learning everything they would teach him. Then he moved, then he built. Then, at 31, he co-founded a software firm that helped small manufacturers digitize their operations, businesses exactly like the ones that had once laid off his father's friends. The firm was not a unicorn. It was not on the cover of any magazine. It employed 41 people, paid them well, and stayed profitable through 3 economic downturns, because Marcus had learned in that long middle how to make do with less and deliver more. Success did not feel like victory. It felt like a Wednesday. It felt like showing up again and realizing with quiet astonishment that again had finally become enough. Marcus Osei's story is not exceptional because he overcame extraordinary obstacles. It is exceptional because the obstacles were ordinary and he overcame them anyway. The broken semester, the silence that couldn't be explained, the 17 rejections, the small, unheroic steps taken in the wrong shoes on the wrong road in weather no one would call inspirational. These are the materials most lives are actually built from. Not grand moments of transformation, but the long, unglamorous decision to keep going past the point where keeping going stops feeling noble. If you're in the middle right now, if the finish line is invisible and the starting line feels embarrassingly recent, then this story is not here to tell you that you will succeed. No story can promise that. What it can tell you is this: the people who finish are almost never the ones who never fell. They are the ones who fell, rested, and then stood up one more time than they sat down. That is not a small thing. That is, in fact, the whole